So we're just talking about your life there. You're 67, 68? 68, aren't you?
68 now.
68.
Yes.
68, and we're just asking the question, if you had your time again, what would you say? So this has been quite famous on YouTube. They do these videos. What would you say to your younger self? So this is your wisdom at 68, where you're at the later part of your life. What would you say to Michael at the beginning of his working career, working life? What advice would you give? This is just for you. What advice would you give?
Well, I think I'd say do exactly what you did, and that's establish yourself at work, start working, and then which gives you a flow of income, and then as soon as possible you buy a house in which to live, because buying a house enables you, one, not to pay rent, or be independent, not pay rent.
Just move in a bit, move into the middle. Move your chair and move into the middle there.
Not suffer increases in rent payments all the time. I think that what happened in my case, I bought a house for 11,000, and even though the house got flooded, a couple of years later I sold it for 21. The inflation was very high in that period. So you buy a house and sit there, and the house hopefully will increase with inflation, or it was increase in value probably more slowly, but you make payments and you increase your equity. So that was a step one. When you got a little bit stronger, and later on, you would then buy another house. And the first house you're paying off from your salary, your earnings, your salary, your wife's salary. But the second house, the tenants are paying it off. And so let's suppose you had two houses.
But
at the
question is in your case then, right?
Yeah.
So the reason we're asking this question, would you have said to yourself, right, fuck the career. The career this doesn't really help you that much. It's a lot of stress for a little bit extra money. It's like that story you told me where that guy was the teller in the Commonwealth Bank. The manager had a vintage car and a house, and this teller had 10 houses. Like, he didn't concentrate on his career. He just said, "Oh, fuck that. The career's not worth much."
Yeah, but well, the thing is,
would you change your philosophy and say, "Okay, I just want to be a teller, do 9 to 5 and fuck off," or whatever the hours are?
The other fellow, the guy who had these houses, he decided that he didn't want to be transferred from Brisbane to Charleville to Townsville to Cairns and back again, because that was very difficult, and with children and education, that was was a bad thing for your wealth, for your position. In my case, I didn't go anywhere. I went from Darra, 10 kilometres to the city, across the road, back across the road, back across the road, and I stayed in Brisbane all my life. I got many promotions, I did very well, so I virtually did both of those things. I did what the manager did and I got very high, but I did what the other guy did, which just stayed on my bum in one place and didn't have to incur the cost of shifting from A to B. So yes, that's true, what you say. But the thing is, in this wealth creation program, one, you need your own house, which will be paid off with time. Two, you need another house, which the tenant's going to pay off. And just imagine then at retirement, you've got house one paid off, 450,000. You've got a rental house paid off, another 450,000. And if you were smart in the process and your wife supports you and whatever, you might have 4 houses or 5 houses. Now, who can have more? If you have superannuation or invest in shares, you'll never have as much as that. So the answer is, where do you want to stop, or do you want to keep on going? And so that's my thinking of how you should improve your wealth and become pretty well off. So I wouldn't have done anything different, and I did that.
Yeah, but
I bought one house.
You said that with your second wife.
Well, no,
you didn't buy more real estate.
No, with my first wife that died, we bought one house, another house, 3 houses. I had 3.5 houses, block of land at Tamborine. So that was the start of that process. When she died, all of a sudden
you had to sell them off.
Well, all of a sudden the whole parameters changed. She was helping in the business. Now she wasn't helping in the business. I had to not look after myself, but myself and a wife and 5 children, which was all of a sudden went from 3 to 5, and of course Elizabeth was a baby then.
We don't
so
mention names on the channel.
it was very it was very difficult. So in order to keep afloat, and that's why I bought the house in the first place. I was able to sell some and reorganise the situation to.
So you're happy with your life has played out?
Yeah, my life has worked out pretty well. I made my choices. I mean, we all hear the beat of a different drummer, and my drummer said, "No, you don't need 25 houses." Looking back, yeah, perhaps it would have been good to have 25 houses, but I chose to enjoy life and do things, pay for education for the children, do other things in my life, and that's what people do.
We can stop that now.
Sing it off.
One.